All right, picking up in Genesis 24, the story of Rebekah. And my master said to me, the Lord whom I serve will send his angel to you to prosper your way. You must go to my own family and take one of the women to be a wife for my son. I came this day to the well and said, O Lord God of my master Abraham, behold, I stand by the well of water. When a young girl comes to draw water, and I say to her, please give me a little water to drink, and then she shall answer, drink, and I will also draw water for your camels. Then, O Lord, let that be the woman whom the Lord has appointed my master's son. Before I had finished my silent prayer, I saw Rebekah coming with her jar on her shoulder. She went down to the well and drew water. I said to her, please give me a drink. And she quickly let down her jar from her shoulder and said, drink, and I will give your camels a drink also. I asked her, whose daughter are you? And she said, I am the granddaughter of Nahor. Atticus,
You can't have this here, okay? We're reading. I'm going to turn it down.
you can watch it, but we're reading, okay? So she's the granddaughter of Nahor. While the servant was speaking, they were gathered around him, listening most eagerly to all he had to say. They were astonished to see how wonderfully God had made everything happen, just as the servant had prayed it might. They too were worshipers of God. Enough. Hush. Do you want to turn the iPad off?
No.
Okay. It was just a question. The servant went on. I gave her the golden ring and put the bracelets on her arm. Then I bowed my head and worshipped the Lord of my master Abraham, who led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter to be the wife of his son Isaac. At last the servant asked, I want you to tell me whether you let Rebekah go back with me to be my master's son's wife. Nahor's family felt that it was truly by God's guidance that all these things had happened. They said, this is truly God's doing, and we must not hinder it. Behold, here is Rebekah. Take her and go, and let her be your master's son's wife, as the Lord has spoken. When Abraham's servant heard that they were willing to let her go, he felt still more grateful to God. He bowed himself to the earth and thanked the Lord for helping him in this wonderful way. Then he opened the packs on the back of the camels. He brought out some beautiful jewels of gold, some jewels of silver, and some very rich, handsome silk clothes. He gave these to Rebekah. He also gave some precious presents to her mother and her brother. In the morning, the servant said, now I must return to my master. I love it. It's so good. Rebekah's mother and brother said, oh, do not be in such a hurry. Let her stay with us at least 10 days. He said, do not hinder me. Let me go back to my master. Well, they said, we will call Rebekah and see what she says. They called her and asked her, are you willing to go back with this man right away? Yes, she said, I will go. They let Rebekah go. They bade her goodbye very affectionately and blessed her. They did not go alone. She did not go alone to her new home. She took her old nurse as a maid, and some young women as companions. Then she would not be homesick far away in a strange land. They all rode upon the camels that Abraham's servants had brought. Abraham himself, as you know, was a worshiper of God and had taught his son to worship God also. Isaac was a very good man. One evening, he took a walk in the field so that he could quietly think about God and pray to him. Looking up, he saw a cloud of dust in the distance. Very soon, he saw that it was the camels on his father's servants coming back. Rebekah also saw Isaac was walking in the fields, and she said to the servant, who is that man walking in the field to meet us? The servant said, it is my master. Rebekah made her camel kneel down so that she could get off. She wanted to dress herself properly before she met the man who was to be her husband. In that country, young women always had their faces covered with a veil. It was not considered proper for a woman to appear without her veil on. Rebekah hastened to wrap herself from head to foot in a long veil. Only her beautiful eyes could be seen. She was ready now to meet her future husband. In a few minutes, the camels approached Isaac. When he saw the beautiful young woman whom the servant had brought with him, he fell in love with her. He brought her home with him and took her into the tent, which has been his mother's. Soon, they were married. And Isaac felt comforted after the death of his mother, Sarah. And the time finally came when Abraham, too, had to die. He had a long life of 175 years. His sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, where Abraham had buried his wife Sarah after buying the field from the people of the land for a family burial ground. Abraham was one of the best men that ever lived in the world, although he lived before the Bible was written and in a country of idol worshippers. He was called the friend of God. He obeyed God in everything, just as a little child should obey its father. God loved him and talked to him because Abraham trusted God so simply and obeyed him so well. God made him the father of great nation of Jews. From his descendants, Jesus came. Please turn that down. Abraham is in heaven now.
Wait, pause.
And if we love God, put it back up. It's fine, and unpause it.
Mom, I found one so good with people.
Abraham is in heaven now, and if we love God and try to please him, we shall one day see Abraham in heaven. Pretty cool, right? You like to meet him one day?
Yeah.
All right. Genesis 25. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah. For 20 long years, they had no little children to brighten their home. Just give me the phone.
Because I'm trying to read this and you're being obnoxious.
Well, while you guys are in the bedroom, I want to pause my arm until a little while I get some more.
Okay.
Bye.
You can't have a pen though. Here's a pencil.
Well, I'm not having anything.
All right, sit down. You can sit up there. I'm going to sit down here to read.
Because I can still, hear you.
What? What?
The orange pencil that I got is about what I go out.
Okay. That's all you have. I'm sorry.
Wait,
Can
we're
you-
gonna cut that out of the video. Right?
I already paused it. You going to press pause? And Jacob thought it a pity that such a wonderful birthright belonged to Esau, who was so indifferent. Esau did not seem to care. Many times Jacob wondered if he could not somehow take away the birthright from him. Now he saw his chance. Esau came home from the hunt and he wanted stew. Jacob said to Esau, "I will give you some of my stew if you will sell your birthright to me." You would expect Esau to say, "What? Sell you my birthright for a little bit of stew? No way." What he really did was say, "Here, I am ready to die of hunger. What good is my birthright to me? You may have it if you give me some stew." Jacob thought, when Esau gets over being hungry, he'll be angry and he'll refuse to keep the bargain. So he said, "First promise me that you will really give me the birthright." Esau impatiently promised and reached for the dish. So Jacob bought the birthright, which Esau valued so little. Isaac, as you remember, was 50 years old when he married Rebekah, and he was 60 years old before Jacob and Esau were born. His sons had now grown into men, 40 years old, and Isaac was 100 years old. His eyes were dim so that he was almost blind. He was a good man who worshiped and loved God. God had appeared to him once and had blessed him, giving him the same promise that he had given to his father Abraham. Isaac had inherited great riches from his father, and he became richer. He had possessions of flocks and herds and many servants. He was a great and mighty prince in the land. Go sit down. His son Esau gave him a good deal of worry. First, he sold the birthright. Then he went out and visited the heathen Hittites.
His city. I think. Wait, let me see that.
Who lived nearby. After a while, he even married 2 Hittite wives. This was wrong. If I have to tell you to sit down again, I'm gonna beat you. Sit down. If he had children, his wives would be sure to bring them up to be idol worshippers. Esau had not paid much attention to the teaching of his grandfather Abraham, or he would have known that God's attitude. Esau had not paid much attention to the teaching of his grandfather Abraham, or he would have known that God wanted his family to be kept apart from idol worshippers. Isaac, being now 100 years old and nearly blind, thought that it was almost time for him to die. One day he told his older son Esau to him. He said, "Behold, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now I want you to do something for me. I want you to go hunting and get me some meat and cook it the way I like it. Then bring it to me to eat, and I shall give you my blessing before I die." Esau had sold his birthright to Jacob for a single meal, which was some lentil stew. After the stew was eaten, he had begun to wish that he had not been so foolish and hasty as to sell his birthright. Now he thought that perhaps his father would give him back part of the birthright when he blessed him. Perhaps his father intended to do that, for he loved Esau best. Yet, it was all going to turn out very differently from what they expected. Rebekah overheard Isaac speaking to Esau. She loved Jacob more than Esau, and she wanted him to have the blessing instead of Esau. She called Jacob and told him what she had heard his father say to Esau. "Now, therefore, my son," she said, "obey my voice and do as I command you. Go to the flock and bring me 2 good young goats. I shall prepare for them a delicious food just as your father loves it. You must take it to him, and he will give you the blessing instead of to Esau if you bring him the food." Jacob answered, "My father is blind and cannot see, but perhaps he will touch me. I have smooth skin and Esau is hairy. Father will know that I am not Esau when he touches my skin. And if father finds out that I am deceiving him, he'll be angry and he'll curse me instead of blessing me." His mother said, "If he curses you, I will bear the curse instead of you. Only go and do as I have said." Jacob brought the young goats, and his mother cooked them just like his father liked them and had the meat. Rebekah took one of Esau's best garments and told Jacob to wear it. Then Rebekah took one of Esau's best garments and told Jacob to wear it. She fastened some pieces of the hairy skin of the young goats onto his hands and onto his smooth neck so that Jacob might deceive his blind father. So Jacob went into his father and said, "My father." Isaac answered, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" Jacob answered, "I am your older son, Esau. I have done what you have told me to do. Now come and eat of the meat so that you may bless me." Isaac asked in surprise, "How is it that you found some so quickly?" Jacob said, "Because the Lord your God granted me success." "How dare he tell this wicked lie? I cannot understand." Isaac was not quite satisfied. He was a little suspicious. It did not seem to him that the voice sounded like Esau's. He said, "Come here so that I may touch you and see if you are truly my son Esau." Jacob came near, and his father felt his hands, now covered with the hairy goat skin. He said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." To settle it, he finally asked, "Are you really my son Esau?" And Jacob lied again and said, "I am." Isaac said, "Bring the meat to me so that I may eat it and bless you." Jacob brought him the delicious food and some wine. Poor blind Isaac ate and drank, thinking Esau was with him. After he had finished, he said, "Come near and kiss me, my son." Jacob did so. His father smelled the smell of Esau's garment and said, "See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. May God give you the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the earth and plenty of grain and new wine. Let people serve you and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you." Get your fingers out of your mouth. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you." Now it happens, as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, when Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac, that his brother Esau came in from his hunting. He had delicious food prepared, and he brought it in to his father. He said to him, "Let my father arise and eat of my meat, that you may bless me." How startled poor Isaac was. He said, "Who are you?" Esau said, "I'm your son, your firstborn Esau." Then Isaac trembled very violently and said, "Who was it then that brought that meat to me? I ate it before you came, and I gave him the blessing. The blessing is his now. I can't take it back." Esau broke into a bitter cry. "Bless me, even me also, O my father." Isaac said, "Your brother came deceitfully and has taken away your blessing." Esau cried out, "He has cheated me. These 2 times he took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing." Again he asked bitterly, "Have you not reserved a blessing for me?" Isaac said, "I have made him lord over you, and all your brothers I have given to him for servants. I have promised him grain and wine. What then can I do for you, my son?" Poor Esau cried, "Have you but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." Then his father gave him a blessing too, but he could not give him as good a promise as he had given Jacob. He said to him, "Behold, away from the fatness of the earth shall your dwelling be, and away from the dew of heaven on high. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you shall break his yoke from your neck." These blessings that Isaac gave to his two sons were not only for Jacob and Esau, they were meant also for their descendants. They foretold what would happen to the children of Jacob and Esau and their families, long after they themselves were dead. That was what made the blessing of such importance. Although Isaac had intended to give the best blessing to Esau, and although Jacob had been wrong to deceive his old brother and to cheat his brother out of his birthright, yet God was ruling all of this. It was God's will that Jacob should be the one who would have both the birthright and the best blessing. Jacob afterwards became a very strong and good man, but Esau was always a weak man.
So where am I reading?
Starting from right there.
After the blessing had been given to Jacob, Esau hated Jacob for cheating him. He said in his heart, "My father is an old man. Very soon he will die. My eyes. And then I will kill my brother." Someone, probably one of the servants, hearing Esau threaten in this way, told Rebekah. Jacob had done a very wicked thing in deceiving his old blind father by telling lies, but his mother was as much to blame as he was. Rebekah must have seen that weak, impulsive Esau, was not a fit person to receive the birthright and the blessing, that he was not the fit to carry on the honor of the family, and to be the kind of the man that God wanted Abraham's grandson to be.
At the same time, Rebekah did not do right in deceiving Isaac. We must never do wrong, even to make right come out of wrong. If Rebekah could not manage in an honest way that Jacob should have the birthright and the blessing, she should have left it to God. Of course, Rebekah was now in great fear for the safety of Jacob. To save Jacob's life, she planned to send him away from home for a while until Esau should get over the fierceness of his anger. So she said to Jacob, "My son Esau is so angry with you that he will kill you when your father dies. The best thing for you to do is to flee away to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay there a few days till your brother's fury is turned away and he has forgotten what you have done to him." They both knew that Esau was not a very strong character, and that though he was very angry now, he would probably forget his anger soon. Rebekah did not tell Isaac that she wanted to send Jacob away for his safety. She gave another reason. She said to him, "Jacob must not marry one of the heathen Hittites who live around here." Isaac agreed with Rebekah. He called Jacob and said to him, "We do not want you to go take a wife from the Canaanite women as Esau has. Now you go to Padan Aram, where your mother came from, and take a wife from one of the daughters of your mother's brother Laban." They did not give Jacob servants and camels to go with him, as Abraham had done when he sent his servants to bring a wife for Isaac. They let him go all alone and on foot. His father was a very rich man. He could easily have given his son both servants and camels. Perhaps Rebekah had to send Jacob off quickly and quietly for fear that Esau would follow him and kill him. His mother told him before he started out that when Esau's anger cooled down, she would send for him to come back. She could not keep that promise. Jacob did come back, but not till his mother had died. When Jacob said goodbye to her, it was for forever. They never saw each other again. That must have been God's punishment to them. His father Isaac blessed him and said to him, "May God Almighty bless you and give the blessings of Abraham to you, that you may take possession of the land in which you live as a stranger that God gave to Abraham." So Jacob said goodbye to his dear father and mother and started out on this long and lonely journey. It was more than 300 miles to Haran. Holy cow, so he walked 300 miles. That's crazy.
Dang.
Where Jacob's uncle Laban lived. Many days he had to tramp over the hot burning sand, and many nights he had to lie down on the bare ground and sleep under the open sky. After Jacob had traveled for a few days over the lonely country, he became very tired. Lying down at night on the hard ground under the stars, he felt lonely and unhappy. He knew that he had done wrong to deceive his old blind father and to steal his brother's blessing. He knew that Esau was very angry with him and would kill him if he could. All these thoughts made Jacob unhappy. He was worried too. He was afraid that he could not make that long journey safely on foot. There were wild animals in that country. It was hard to get enough to eat. Sometimes he was very, very hungry. But Jacob was not really alone. God had been with him all the time. God was taking care of Jacob, although he did not deserve God's care. One night, Jacob felt so tired and weak that he literally thought he was going to die all alone in a strange country. He had walked all day, his feet were so sore, and he was faint. He took a stone for a pillow. He laid down in that place to sleep. While he was asleep, he forgot all about being tired and lonely, for he dreamed a most wonderful dream. He saw a ladder so long that it seemed to stand upon the earth and reach to heaven. On the ladder, he saw bright angels. Well, this is his dream, honey. He saw angels walking up and down. The beautiful sight filled Jacob's mind with wonder. At the top of the ladder stood the Lord. The Lord spoke to Jacob, "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. In your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you." After this surprising dream, Jacob awoke. He was astonished and somewhat afraid. When he was able to speak, he exclaimed, "How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." Very early in the morning, Jacob took the stone that he had used for a pillow and set it up as a pillar. In this way, he would be able to find the spot again when he came back. He wanted to remember the exact place where he had seen the angels going up and down out of heaven, and where God had spoken to him directly from heaven. After he had set up the stone, he poured some oil upon it and named the place Bethel. In this language, this means the house of God. From that night, Jacob was a different man. He tried hard to serve God and to please him. Jacob made a vow, a solemn promise to God. This was the vow: "If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God, and this stone which I have set up as a pillar shall be God's house. And of all that you give me, I will give a full tenth to you." Do you think that Jacob was lonely and unhappy now? No, indeed. He was most happy. As he went on his way, he was thinking of the wonderful dream. He was going to look for that country that the Lord said should someday belong to him and to his children. He was thinking of what the Lord had said, that his descendants should be as many as the dust on the earth. He was remembering that the Lord had said that he would never leave him, that he would go with him all the way and would bring him back safely. He was seeing the beautiful angels as he went up and down the ladder. Jacob had found a friend in God, and no one is unhappy who has a friend in God.